Math videos are amazing. Anyways, here we go. I'll just make a quick video on how to do this by hand. You can always do this by Desmos, but it is going to be nice and helpful for you. So we are looking at piecewise functions again. I've given you a piecewise function right over here, g of x, and then I'm going to ask you to do 3 different things. So A, B, and C there. Okay, so the first thing it says is, hey, let's figure out what g of 1 is. And really it just comes down to being able to read what these piecewise functions work with based off of their restrictions. So it says g of 1. So this is where x is at. So I'm going to say, okay, well, what if I put a 1 right here? That would be 1 is less than 1. Well, that's not true. 1 is not less than 1. We know that 1 is equal to 1. So I go to the next statement over here and it says 1 is equal to 1. So it must be this statement. So I just simply say, well, 3 times 1 minus 1. Okay, and I say, oh, 3 times 1 minus 1, that's easy. Well, 3 times 1 is 3, minus 1 is 2. Okay, so we're in good shape there. That is that answer. Well, then I say, well, g of 3. Oh, okay, well, g of 3. So I put, let's change our value there. And I say, okay, well, 3 is less than 1. That's not true. 3 is definitely not less than 1. But if I go ahead and take that 3 and I put it in for that x right there, it says 3 is greater than or equal to 1. I know it's not equal to 1, but I do know that it is greater than 1. So I'm going to plug it into that equation. So I'm going to say, well, 3 times 3 minus 1. And I say, oh, 3 times 3 minus 1, that's easy. Well, that's 3 times 3 is 9, minus 1 is 8. Okay, so there we go, we got 8. Okay, and I'm like, oh, sweet, perfect. And then I come over to something that's a little bit more complicated, like C. And it says 2g of 1 plus 3g of 3. Well, that doesn't make any sense, but it does. And the reason why, it's just communicating to us a few things. It says, well, g of 1, we already know that answer. G of 1 is over here, it's 2. It's right there, it's 2. So I'm gonna write 2 times 2, right? And then I automatically know, I know what g of 3 is right there. Well, where's g of 3? Well, g of 3 is 8. So all this says is, well, let's do 3 times 8. And then we've got this right in the middle. It says to add them together. Okay, so, okay, well, let's add them together. I know, well, 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 8 is 24. This is pretty awesome stuff. 4 plus 24 is 28. And that's how we do something a little bit more complex. We break it down into its pieces, and then we can do all that extra multiplication, subtraction, division, whatever it's asking us to, like in part C. But other than that, pretty fun stuff. Boom, boom.